So I guess you just can't keep up with everything. One thing we can keep up with is trying to stay healthy in the kitchen, and helping us out today with that is Erin Childress with Farm Fresh Meats. And telling you already, it smells good. She's got the Mirepoix going. She's got all kinds of things going up here to make a good chicken and rice. So I guess kind of break down here what you're showing us today.
Well, my main premise of the show today is to teach people how to make their own homemade broths and stocks. I know that flu season is upon us. Inevitably, a lot of us are going to get the flu and get sick. So I think it's important to stock your freezer with stuff that makes you feel better when you're sick.
Yeah, comfort food. Like you said, you can freeze this. You can start to have it ready for when you need it.
And it all starts with our Farm Fresh Meats fresh products. So today I am making a smoked chicken stock out of Farm Fresh Meats smoked chickens that you can see right here. This is a whole smoked chicken. We smoke them every Friday and Saturday for purchase. But what I've done is I've already cut up some carrot and some celery and some onion, and I've thrown it in the bottom of the pot here. Okay. I went ahead and picked the chicken off of this carcass here, and I'm going to throw the carcass right in to the pot.
And something to note here, what Erin has going on here, it isn't some of it, it's the ends and bits too.
Right.
It's not, you can put all that stuff in there like the ends.
Because we're not actually going to eat the vegetables or the carcass or anything like that. It's all in there just for the flavor infusion. Right. So we've got the celery, onions, carrot, the chicken in there. I've also got a big handful of full garlic cloves, some bay leaves, whole peppercorns, some fresh thyme, and some salt that's going to go in. You just want to add some basic flavors, but really good, fresh, quality flavors.
Yeah, so you brought some, I guess these are lavender, is that
it? Lavender, it is.
Yeah, out
you know, lavender
is
a soothing scent too, also when you're sick. You know, I enjoy lavender all the time, but especially when you're sick, it's something that I think makes you feel a little bit better. So now that we've got all of our ingredients in the pan here, all we're going to do is cover it with water. So we're going to make sure that we cover the chicken and everything all the way to the top, which I may not have enough water here to do, but you want to have at least 1 inch to 2 inches of water over your chicken, because this is going to cook over like a 4 to 6 hour period, and a lot of that water is going to evaporate, and you're just going to be left with a really nice, rich chicken stock.
Well, that gets going, Erin. Tell us a little about what's going on over at Farm Fresh Meats.
Sure. Well, Farm Fresh is ultimately my granddad's business that he started in 1976 that my dad has now passed along to me. So we are, for the lack of a better term, an old-fashioned butcher shop. Okay. We do everything from scratch. That's wanting to make some noises at us. We'll get to that later. But we do custom grinds to order, custom steaks. What I have today is beautiful, fresh farm-raised chicken that we get delivered to us 3 times a week. We do everything. We make about 25 different types of sausage in-house.
And where are y'all located at?
We're in Robertsdale, Alabama, right on Highway 59 South as you're heading towards the beach. All
right, so we'll be able to find you guys there. And Erin is once again putting together a healthy, I should say healthy chicken stock, because one of the differences between this and maybe what you get in a can or the box at the store is that you know exactly what's going into it and what's not going into it.
Yes, and you can control the amount of salt, which I think is really important to some people too. And I wanted to note, if we have some time, that you can also do this with beef bones. So I brought some fresh beef bones too that make a really good healthy beef broth. You'd use the same ingredients except minus the chicken. You just throw in the beef and let it go.
All right, sounds good, Erin. We'll get more into that coming up a little bit later on in the show. We'll have another segment here with Erin coming up, guys.
Soaking it in.
Right.
Smelling good. Erin Childress is here with Farm Fresh Meats. We always love having you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Sure, Joe. I love being here.
Well, it smells great in here. Tell the folks your concept and what you're working on today.
Okay. Well, I thought, you know, with the beginning of the year, not only are people being health conscious, but everybody's going to get sick because flu season is here. So now's the time to stock your freezer with homemade broths and stocks and things that will kind of help soothe the soul and make you feel a little bit better when you're feeling under the weather.
Soothe the soul and feeling better, you can't go wrong with that. And yeah, we've already had a slew of illness going through Fox 10, so we know that this would be a big hit in our newsroom right now. So tell me about some of the things you have here. First of all, what is this up here?
Well, that's just some fresh lavender. Not only did I bring it for a little bit of decoration, but that's something that you can also put in the shower with you when you're feeling under the weather, and the aroma will just make you feel a lot better. It'll help you breathe better. And I thought it looked really pretty.
A lot of people are doing those essential oils and things like that. Lavender is one of the most popular ones,
Eucalyptus oil is really good too. But yeah, it was pretty, and it's something that makes you feel good. And now we're at the second stage of making our chicken and rice. So we made the broth Fast forward, 4 hours has gone by, and this is what the stock looks like.
Okay.
You can tell that it's super rich, it's going to have a lot of flavor, and it's a little bit different than anything that I think most people have ever had because it's made with Farm Fresh Meats smoked chicken carcasses.
And that's one of the keys right there. Tell me about your smoked chicken and your smoked chicken carcasses.
Okay. Well, the smoked chicken is something that we do every Friday and Saturday, along with a wide array of other smoked items that we have for sale. I thought that it would be a good idea to not only use the meat in the chicken and rice here, but to take the carcass and then infuse that smoky flavor into our stock. So you're kind of left with something that's a little bit different as far as taste goes, something that you may not be that familiar with.
Very cool. Always wanting to try something new, and especially if it's coming from you, because everything you do winds up being delicious.
Thank you.
All right, so what do we need to do right now?
Okay, so we are at the beginning stages of making our chicken and rice. What I've done is I've just cut up some carrot and some celery, and I actually cut up the pretty leafy greens of the celery because those are healthy for you too, and they're edible. Okay. And threw those in there with some onions, some olive oil, some butter, a little bit of salt, some pepper, and I put Greek seasoning in everything. So this is Cavender's Greek seasoning. It's awesome. I use it literally in every dish that I make. So now our veggies have gotten to the stage where they're kind of translucent, but they still have a nice bite to them. So I'm going to add in 2 cups of rice, and I'm just going to let that kind of toast a little bit just to get a little bit more flavor in there, an extra added layer of flavor. And we're going to cook this for just a few minutes, and then we're going to add in our broth and let the rice start to cook. And the rice will cook over like a 15 to 20 minute period. After we feel that the rice is al dente where it needs to be, it's not tough at all, then we'll add in our chicken and we're pretty much done.
All right, so before we come back for the last and final segment, I want to ask you, so a lot of people are making their New Year's resolutions right now. One of the ways they could do so is they're trying to get more protein into their diet, maybe stay away from some of the carbs and stuff like that. Farm Fresh Meats is a great place to go for all of that.
It really is. I mean, not only am I proud of it because it's my family's business, we do offer just such a premium product from our beef, our pork, our chicken. This is fresh farm-raised chicken that comes out of Montgomery that I get delivered fresh, never frozen. 3 times a week. All of our pork products, most of which come from Beau Farms, which is a pig farm right over the state line in Moselle, Mississippi. I also have some really nice choice beef marrow bones here too that would make a great stock as well. But all of our meats are going to be really premium, top quality product, all of which we can custom to your satisfaction and your liking. We can cut your steaks however you want. We can grind whatever you want. You name it, we do.
All right, sounds good. Farm Fresh Meats, you can find all of their information online, the Studio 10 tab at fox10tv.com. Great location in Robertsdale. Go check it out. Matt, I know you agree. It is smelling good in here, man.
All right, we're back in the kitchen with Aaron Childress from Farm Fresh Meats, and it smells awesome. I think one of the unique things about what you're doing here is making a chicken stock and then a chicken and rice. The stock made with the smoked chicken, that is something different. You don't get that in the store with your typical broth. You
don't, and that's something that I like to bring to the show here, something unique, something new, something that kind of sets Farm Fresh apart from everybody else. So where we're at now is we have cooked down our veggies in the olive oil and butter. We put a little bit of salt and pepper and Greek seasoning with those, and then I added in our entire batch of homemade chicken stock, and our rice has gotten to the point where it's done. So now I have 2 of Farm Fresh's shredded chickens that we used for the broth. This is the meat here that I'm going to add in, and you want to do this at the very end because you don't want to continue to cook this meat. You really just want to warm it through. It's already so smoky and tender and moist. We just want to get it where it's got some heat to it.
All right, and this is something you can do with obviously with the smoked chicken, but you also have the beef bones out there if you wanted to make a beef broth and kind of go with it like that. And really, I like you were saying, I mean, this time of year, who doesn't love a good soup or a good stew? And oh, it just smells wonderful, and you can smell the root vegetables that you put in there. It smells really good.
It's really easy to prep up. It's nothing that's intimidating at all. I like to bring stuff to the table also that the average home cook can do and not feel scared of. And the whole premise behind it all is that Farm Fresh can provide you with all of the ingredients that you need to make this beautiful chicken and rice, the stock, and it's virtually stress-free and super simple.
Food.
Right, yes. And if you prep it up, you know, say maybe on a Sunday, you can stock your freezer full of stuff and just pull it out and literally whip up the veggies, throw in the chicken, and you've got dinner ready to go.
And for folks who are on different kinds of diets, you can really kind of personalize that to where you need it to be.
Absolutely. I recommend tasting your chicken and rice or your chicken noodle soup, whatever it is that you decide to make with your stock as you go along, just for salt and pepper, a little bit of seasoning,
just
to make
just
sure you've
so
got
you know.
good flavor. Yeah.
It's
But
a prerogative
I
of
think
being the
that
cook.
we are ready for plating.
All right,
if you
let's
are.
go ahead and do that.
So I have a nice little row of saltines, because you can't have chicken noodle soup or chicken and rice without some saltines, especially when you're feeling under the weather.
Right.
So here is the finished product. You want to make sure you get a lot of the chicken and rice and the veggies in the bottom, and then we'll top it off with a lot of that extra broth.
Make sure everybody gets a little bit of everything. So
yeah.
where can folks find you guys once again? It's over in Robertsdale, Route 59, right?
Right, yes. So if you're familiar with Robertsdale, we are right in the hub of Robertsdale. We are across the street from a really large Brick Regions Bank. That's kind of what I give everybody as the signifier. They see that as they're going down the road, and then we're across the street from that. Been there for a long time, 43 years.
43 years, and they've been at this, and I tell you, that smoked chicken smells absolutely fantastic. And I see you're going to top it off with a little
Garnish
parsley.
it with
Yeah,
some
there you go.
parsley, just to make it a little fresh, a little fancy. I like to be fancy, and then we're done. We're ready to eat.
All right, sounds good. Once again, this is Erin from Farm Fresh Meats putting together a healthy, it's something not only healthy to eat, but it's something to make you healthy again.
Right.
You've been sick.
Yes.
It smells absolutely fantastic. So absolutely terrific job here, as always, with Erin from Farm Fresh Meats. Joe?